because it's October and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yes, he is a little gentleman, but he'll do anything that we make him do. So I appreciate that. So he's my little helper. So him and I are all decked out in pink today.
Real men wear pink.
That is true. Real men wear pink. All right, so today, of course, is Cheesecake Day. I took a poll again, and you guys voted. And of course, just like the last time, it was very, very close. But the cannoli one actually won out. And I have the finished product. So I made it 2 days ago. I tried to fool around with it and see what would be easier for you guys. But this is it. It looks delish. My mini chips. When I was putting it on the plate, I put a little crack in there, but it's going to get eaten anyway.
Yeah.
So I tried it out, and it was really good. Now, this cheesecake is a little bit different from the ones that you're probably used to in a store. They're very thick, they're very dense. They're made with cream cheese, but this is an Italian one, and it's made with ricotta cheese because that's how you make cannolis. So we wanted it as authentic as we could get it. So we're going to be using ricotta and mascarpone, a combination of both. So this is the recipe that I have. It looks like a lot of ingredients, but it's really not. Sugar's on here twice because we're going to use it in the crust and in the cheesecake. And then the other things is just like a little bit of stuff, like a little cinnamon and vanilla. But this is the ingredients for you guys. So of course, like always, I will post this with the finished product. So let's get started because this is a two-step process. So the first thing we have to do, Abs, is we probably should have put your oven on while we were busy playing with the dog.
What temperature?
350 is good because we're going to, after we finish making the crust, we're just going to stick in the oven for 8 minutes. While that cooks, we're going to whip up the cake actually, and that's how fast it really takes. A lot of people are intimidated with cheesecakes, mostly because of the cooking time and stuff. You have to time it just right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the crust, and it's going to go in a springform pan. So this is a springform pan, and they call it that because you can take this spring apart, and the bottom just comes right out for you to take your cheesecake out. So you won't have to sit here and like try to fiddle it out of this. If you don't have a springform pan, I don't suggest making a cheesecake because you can't get it out of a regular cake pan. So this is mine, of course I brought from home. You could use a different size. There's 11 inch, there's 6 inch, there's even small 4 inch ones. So you just have to adjust your cooking time because obviously the smaller they are, the thicker they're going to be. So this one works out really perfect. So today we have all of our pink utensils we're using, of course, for breast cancer awareness. And I've had a few friends through the years who have battled this and beat it, and they're here today. And I'm very grateful. So we try to always remember that, even at the restaurant in October. So this is a food processor.
I'm going this side.
Okay. This is a food processor, and I have it all set up already. We're just going to pulse. We're going to make the bottom, so we're going to pulse a couple cookies in here. Now, I used cannoli shells on that one that I made the other day. I brought them home from the restaurant. I realized they're not that easy to get your hands on. They are for me, of course, but I know maybe some higher-end bakeries may carry cannoli shells. But if not, this is a wonderful substitution. These little Biscoffs, I mean, I love them with coffee. I've had them my whole life, like my mom and my grandma used to eat these. So I remember the taste of them tasting very similar to a cannoli shell. So this was a big, big package. I already used some the other night for that cheesecake. So I have the packages out here, and these are 4-ounce ones. So this all together, these are going to be 8. And all you have to do basically is really just put them in here. And I like to do it in increments of 2 because otherwise you get some really big chunks on there. And this is going to be allowed for a second because I'm gonna pulse it. Track. He's scared to death. Okay, so we have those done. And I'm just going to take this off, hold this, and I'm going to put them in this bowl. And I'm going to do the second half. You These are all different, so I suggest trying them out before you. This is one I stole from the restaurant, so it's a little bit used and abused. Okay. I hear the guinea pigs.
Yep.
They hear packages and they think they're going to eat. They truly love food. Okay, so we're gonna put this back on till it clicks. This is just a Procter and Gamble one, a Black and Decker, Walmart, like $10.99. He's hiding. He's like, I don't like that sound. Okay, that's how easy this was. And honestly, you can use this for vegetables. At the restaurant, we use it to grind up carrots and celery and onions that we use for our bolognese sauce. So that's all there is to that. So we just put these in here. And we look through to see we may have a big piece here or there. But for the most part, it's all nice and ground up. We'll see if truck wants that. Here. Okay, and to this I'm going to add it's right on here, see? 2 teaspoons of sugar, because right now it's just plain cookie shell. So we're just going to add a little of that in. Alrighty, and then I went ahead and I melted already. This is 3 tablespoons of butter. And you just pour that in, really simple. And we're just gonna mix this all together to make sure that the crumbs are all moist. I know you hate that word. I tried to think of something else. I honestly could. Yeah. So they have butter all over them.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Okay, so you'll see them. They'll stick together once, like the butter has been incorporated through them all. And then we take it, and you could put a piece of parchment in here, or you could, these pretty much, when you pop on the cake, pretty much, you take a knife and you run it around it. So I'm just going to pour this in the bottom.
You don't have to spray it or anything?
Now,
Nice.
spread it out. See, it comes out to be a nice crust. Now, I'm going to take just the bottom of this thing. You can take your hand, your hands are your tools, not just jewels. And you just push it down like this so it gets nice and flat. And you want to go around the edge and make sure it's all pushed down. And then there you go. You have a nice crust, just like that. So now we're going to put it in the oven. And we're going to let that bake for, it's supposed to be 8 minutes. So that's still warming up. I am going to rinse off my thing. I usually bring more, but I only have 1 pink one. Okay, and I'm going to use my little dish towel here with all my cheeses on it. And I chose it because it has ricotta and it has mascarpone on here. So I was like, okay, this is going to be ricotta and mascarpone. I'm like, okay, this is going to be good for today. All right, so I know it's the little things that got me excited, just kitchen gadgets. But I'm starting to get a lot of people hooked on kitchen gadgets. Okay, so we're going to start with the cake part. And we're going to start with 3 cups of ricotta. So I suggest whole milk. It's thicker, it's just better. When I bake, I don't like to do anything skimpy. So we're just going to go ahead and take this out. I'm going to try to get this label off there. Put that in the sink. All right, and we're going to do 3 cups here. And this is honestly one of my favorite cheeses when I have just pasta at the, I just eat it sometimes with marinara and a scoop of ricotta on the top.
Ew.
I love it with just a little bit of cinnamon sugar. I love it.
You're weird.
It's a good cheese. I'm weird, but you used to eat it when you were a baby. You had no choice then.
I'm not just going to sit around and eat cheese all day.
It's like a snack. Why? You would eat cheddar cheese, wouldn't you?
No.
Cheese and crackers. Okay. So this works out to be really good when you mix it in with a sweet dessert. It's just almost like the mascarpone, because they're both so versatile like that. You can use them for sweet and savory, so we always have this. Okay, so the ricotta is done. I'm going to put that in there also. Okay, and now I need a cup of the mascarpone, and this is where you could kind of fool around with it, and I did. One recipe called for like 4 cups of this, and to me it was like just too loose. And then some wanted cream cheese instead, so I said I'm going to stick all Italian, and I'm going to use the mascarpone. And it tightened it up, and it was much better. So we're not going to use this whole thing. This is 16 ounces. We need 8, so we're going to track. Where do you think you're going? Tracker is getting pretty popular. A lot of people have been talking about him on my Facebook, huh, buddy? This is one thing you probably can't eat today. Try to give him a little pasta and everything, but probably not this.
Thanks.
Okay. So the mascarpone is done. That's pretty much a cup of that. So I did not bring my small little ones, but we'll. Oh, I smell the crust.
I know, me too.
Oh, Biscoff smells so good. All right, I'm just gonna put all the dirties in one bowl. Don't want to make too big of a mess for you. That's why I love cooking over here. Oh, she cleans. Okay. Next, we're gonna put in 1 1/4 cup of sugar, minus the 2 tablespoons that we already used for the crust. So we're just gonna head and pour that in there. And then we're going to put 1/4 cup of flour. And what this is going to do is it's going to tighten it up. So anytime you put flour in with something, it kind of binds it. So we're going to put the flour in there. And then we're going to put 2 teaspoons of vanilla. This is just regular vanilla. I know you could get like the really the real expensive vanilla, which would probably be the best. This is what I had in the cabinet. And again, we're always just trying to make everything easier for you guys. If you didn't have mascarpone, you could definitely use cream cheese, just so you know. Okay, and then we're gonna also use some cinnamon. We're gonna do 1 1/2 teaspoons of this. And this doesn't fit. So we're gonna use 3 halves. There we go. All right, so 1, because we're using cinnamon, you might think that's weird, but that's one of the main flavors that you taste in a cannoli is cinnamon. So that's what's gonna make this really taste like it. And then we need 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. So I got my little halfer here. And we're gonna pour that in. I like these because you can use them for wet or dry. And that's gonna be it. So now I'm gonna just kind of take this out of there. And I'm going to whip it up. And I'm going to start off really slow, because we don't need it all over. Okay. There we go. And immediately I smell the cinnamon. It smells really, really good. So a lot of people kept asking me how to find the Facebook, or how they could follow along and find the Facebook. Obviously, those of you that are on here found it. It's just on my page. It's open. So if somebody's asking you, it's just, you just go to my Facebook page. And, we do post them afterwards. So they're on there for a while. And like I said, you just go to my photos and hit videos, and all of the videos are on there. So between that crust and this, I smell like I'm eating like in a cannoli factory.
Yeah.
It's funny. So it's all whipping up. And now we're going to put in our eggs. And we're going to do them 1 at a time. And it's 5 eggs. Okay. So let me lift this. This is not a good idea.
No.
There's 1 shell in there. So I'll do it this way. I'll do it the correct way.
Although you're kind of a pro.
I can even do them one-handed. I remember your brother and I had like a contest, see who could crack the most.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Cracks a lot of eggs. We do 1 at a time because we want to make sure it gets mixed in. You don't want a big clump of yolk or anything like that. That's 3. And after this, I'm going to take the crust out because I smell it and I don't want it to get overdone. that's 4. And that's 5. This out of the way. And there you go. Okay, so that's mixing. Let's get the other one out of the oven, the crust out of the oven. Yep, it's done. It just needs to be heated through.
It smells amazing.
Doesn't it already smell like a cannoli?
Yeah.
Weird. Maybe it's in our mind, that's why. Okay, and the last thing we're going to add is going to be the mini chocolate chips. So you should have saved a little flour to mix them in.
Do you need more flour?
Yeah, if you could.
Can I
Just
hold
need
it?
a little flour. Want me to hold this? Yeah. Maybe I can see who's on here. I can say hi to some people. Troy! Troy, you were just in here last night, all the way from Texas. Thank you. We have Scott and Tony, Teresa all the way in New York. Linda, you love our puppy. He's such a sweetie. Jose. Hey, look it. Alana. Al, we'll see you at work in a little bit.
Yeah, Al, go get ready.
You should be getting ready for work, Al. And guys, I'll tell you, I have met the nicest girls from Rhode Island just recently. They are honestly, they're the sweetest girls. They, 2 sisters, Karen and Denise, and they live in Denise lives in North Providence and Karen lives here. And they've just been messaging me about how they've really been enjoying the recipes and stuff. So I'm just excited to keep meeting new people. So many people keep coming into the restaurant from the videos, and that's always a great idea. I just need one more little spoon from you. Why I'm putting the chips in the flour is because if I were to just throw them in there, when they cook, they will sink to the bottom because they're heavier than the batter. So what you want to do is you want to coat your chips. Anytime you make any type of cake like this, you should coat your chips or nuts or anything that you want to add to it. And you want just a little bit, just so it coats them. See, now all these chips are coated. And now they're going to go evenly throughout the cake. Then when I put them in the baking process, they're not all going to sink to the bottom. So I'm going to put these in. And yes, a little bit of extra flour is going in, but that's okay. And I'm just going to do them for a second because we don't want the mixer to chop them up. These are minis though, so it's perfect. And we chose, of course, chocolate chip because that's what we put in our cannolis. Okay, so this is done. Look how quick that was. And this is how the batter should be. It should be a little bit runny like this. And then I'm going to take that off. You kids used to fight over that when you were little. We'd have to have a bowl, a spatula, and the beaters. And they would all say, I get the beater, I get the spatula. Okay, we're just going to pour this right on top of our crust. There we go. This is a beautiful cheesecake. It's nice and smooth, and I left my mascarpone out for a little bit, so it got a little bit of room temperature. And you have to do that if you're going to use cream cheese. You have to do that too. Otherwise, it won't mix well, and you'll have lumps, and you'll have a lumpy cheesecake. So basically, now this is ready to go. And I can even touch it. It's all cool. So what you want to do is at home, I put it in a water bath. So you would just take this pan, fill up one, which I didn't know if you had or not. That's one way to assure that it doesn't crack. Is you could put aluminum foil around this. Just put it on top of a piece of aluminum foil and bring it up, and then you fill up like a deeper dish with a little bit of water and put the cake in it, and that's called a water bath. And what it does is it stops it from cracking because you're creating moisture in the oven. So I'm just going to cook this one straight in here, and then in a little while, if we wanted to, we could just take a pan of water and put it next to it, which we probably will, and then it'll make moisture also. And then when it comes out, this is the finished product. I'm going to get a plate, Abs. So we can I've been dying to taste this cheesecake for days now. You could put whip on the top if you want to. You could put cannoli cream on the top. I think it's gonna be good just the way it is. So, how you doing, bud? You getting tired? Okay, so I'm going to cut this down. Now this is a day old, like I said, and I'm going to. We're gonna share this one, okay?
Okay.
Because unless you want a whole piece.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I do, but
you
I
do,
went to
but
the gym.
yeah, we know how you are with the gym. Hold this. Thanks. That first piece is always the you know what. Okay, you ready?
Well, it looks amazing.
It does, doesn't it? Let's put a little
Yes.
powdered sugar on top. And you see how here all the chips, you know, they stayed in it inside of they didn't all sink to the bottom, and that's why you put the flour on them like that, so they don't. See that? They're all throughout it. I'm ready to dive in.
All right.
It's good, right?
It tastes just like a cannoli.
Like a cannoli.
Oh my
It's
God.
incredible. All those flavors together. You could, like I said, you could put whip on the top if you wanted. You could put chocolate ganache on the top. You could just eat it plain like this. This is it's lighter than the one we have at the restaurant because this is made, like I said, with the ricotta cheese. If you had all cream cheese in it, it would be very, very dense.
Are you supposed to eat it cold?
Cold or hot?
It's fantastic cold. I wonder how. I'm sure it'd be just as good hot.
Well, I think it's cold because you wouldn't eat a cannoli hot.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
You know. And I use the Biscoff, the cookie part, just because a lot of people can't get cannoli shells.
Yeah. No, it's perfect. God, that's delicious.
Mm-hmm. So now you know how to make an amazing cheesecake. And look how, I mean, it didn't even take us any time at all.
Well, how long do you bake it?
Oh, this is the bake time. It's on 350, and it took me an hour on this pan, 9-inch, and then I checked it after that, and then I had to bake it for like another 10 minutes. So what you do is you check the top, and you want it to be a little bit firm. Not mushy and not hard, but a little bit firm. And that's how it was. So this was an hour and 10 minutes. That's why I was late the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah, worth it.
Right, Jack? And we wish, everyone a happy weekend. Be safe travels. Oh, I know he smells. Look how he smells the cheesecake on me. And remember, October, breast cancer awareness.